Hello everyone, happy Sunday and welcome again to one of our online sessions for science. So before we proceed, kindly get your course book, your pen and notes for notes taking because we're going to do a lot of exercises for today. So hit pause if you don't have those materials yet. Okay, so before we start, let's have a little bit of mind-boggling exercises, okay? Question number 1, you need to write your answer on the chat box. Okay, so a material that is made with a combination of copper and tin. What do you think is this? Look at the time. The correct answer is bronze. Okay, so it's a bronze metal anyway. Question number 2. The metal which is usually used for braces because of its flexibility. I have the clue right over here in the periodic table. What is this? Three, two, one. Time is up. The correct answer is titanium. So this one is actually titanium. The symbol is Ti. Next question. This is a metallic element that is present in bananas that the doctor said is good for the heart. What is this? Three, two, one. The correct answer is potassium. The doctor would tell you to eat bananas for potassium for your heart. Good for pumping. Okay, next question. The metal which is used on electricity wires, and if you had seen one, we have a lot of those in the physics lab, and in physics we're going to use that in one of our experiments. The correct answer is copper. We call this actually your copper wires. Okay, so how much did you get? Did you get 4? If you get 4, you're really awesome. Okay, so let's proceed now. So our topic actually is all about metals, and we're going to take a look at what happens if they react with acids. So it's lesson 9.3, reactions with acids. And you can open your course book on page 112. Okay, so let's take a look now with our objectives for the day. We're going to analyze here some selected chemical reactions, and we're going to determine the product of reaction between metals and acids. So we're going to actually name here what will happen if a metal reacts with acid. What is the name of the product? Okay, and we're going to identify only here products which makes use of 4 known acids. Are you ready? I'm ready. Let's go. Next here is, take a look here. I have here 5 pictures, and I want you to identify which of the following here would contain hydrogen. What do you think? Is it letter A? A here is water. So definitely it contains hydrogen. It's H2O. Let's take a look with B. B here has hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide. That means that they contain also hydrogen. So you can see that they are reacting here with metals, which is actually our topic for today. Take a look with letter C. This is what we did. It's the elephant toothpaste, and we use hydrogen peroxide. So we use their hydrogen. How about look at letter D? Do you recall what is this compound? You did? This one is called sodium hydroxide. Also, it contains hydrogen. And take a look with letter E. What is this? Very good. It is hydrochloric acid. And from the name, hydro, that means it contains hydrogen. So the answer here is letter F. All of this contains hydrogen. So, what is hydrogen? Hydrogen is the simplest and the lightest element in the universe and the number 1 in the periodic table. Why? Because it contains one proton and one electron. It is gas, and it's usually found in some compounds like water and ammonia. And what we had before, it's the CH4, and that is very good. That's methane. It also contains hydrogen. It's non-toxic, non-poisonous, but highly flammable. And it's lighter than air. Okay, those are just the characteristic of hydrogen. So, I have here an example of how would you know if something contains hydrogen. So what we are doing here is we have here a metal. Actually, the one inside here is a magnesium metal, and that's the one which the student is putting inside. And this one is actually hydrochloric acid, HCl. So how would someone know that it contains hydrogen? So it's undergoing chemical reaction here. So we call this the splint. It's a kind of stick that we burn, and we're going to react it to put it here. So there will be a sound. Actually, there's like a squeaky pop that happens here because the hydrogen here actually reacts with the oxygen. So the squeaky pop will tell you that hydrogen is present. So to test for hydrogen here, okay, so splint will be used, which means a metal stick with fire. Okay, so when the hydrogen pops, it is actually reacting oxygen in the air to form water. So the chemical reaction there would be hydrogen plus oxygen is equal to water. So what we did here is we reacted magnesium in the form of a metal and hydrochloric acid, and we used a splint just like the one seen here, and it produces a squeaky pop because there's an oxygen in the air. So that is how we test for presence of hydrogen in a chemical reaction. Okay, so which element here is considered as metal? Before we proceed, magnesium, calcium, sodium, we have lithium, and we have potassium. Which one? The correct answer here is letter G. All actually here are metal. So how would we know if something is metal? So which color are the metals here? Which? If you answer blue, you are correct. Everything which is blue here are metals. So if you cannot memorize this, you can just take a look with our course book, and you would see there some of the metals which we usually use for our chemical reactions in this discussion, and actually even in our discussions before. Okay, so metals. Okay, so we're going to identify here what is the result if we react metal and acid. Okay, so one example here is magnesium, which is a metal which we react with a very reactive acid which we call hydrochloric acid. So if they react, bubbles of gas are given off, and the gas is called the hydrogen. Therefore, our chemical equation will be magnesium plus hydrochloric acid will yield as magnesium chloride plus hydrogen. Okay, I want you to take note of that. However, other metals and acids can react together also in the same type of reaction. Example, zinc, a metal, and another form of acid is called sulfuric acid. So if they react with each other, it will be producing zinc sulfate, and the gas which will be produced is hydrogen. Take note, every time we react metal and acid, it will always produce a hydrogen. So we also produce here another compound. So how are we going to know that these are the compounds which are produced? Let's take a look with this. Okay, so I have here 4 kinds of acid that we will be using. We have hydrochloric acid, it's HCl. We have sulfuric acid, it's H2SO4. Another one is carbonic acid, it's H2CO3. Nitric acid, it's HNO3. Notice that these 4 acid always contains hydrogen. Where? Very good. we usually see the hydrogen at the first element of each of the compound. However, on this discussion, we will not use the numbers of the atoms in the compound. We will just only know the name of the compound. So no need to memorize the numbers here. Okay? Just memorize the chemical formula. Okay? So let's take a look with example number 1. Okay, in example number 1, I have here calcium and it will react with hydrochloric acid. So what will be our product? So first, write the name of the metal. So we have here calcium, which is the metal. And after that, since hydrochloric acid reacts with calcium, we will be getting only the chloride out of that. Okay, so it should be the chloride right over here. So, because the HCl or the hydrochloric acid contains here chloric, the chloric here means chloride. So therefore, we will be getting the chloride out of that. Take note, every time we react it with hydrochloric acid, we will be getting chloride. Therefore, our product is calcium chloride. Plus, again, if we react metal with an acid, we will always produce hydrogen gas. So just put there hydrogen gas, and this is now your chemical reaction. Okay? So never mind about the chemical formula. We only want here the names. Okay. Number 2. How about this one? We have magnesium plus sulfuric acid. So again, what is the first rule? The first rule is we're going to write the name of the metal. The name of the metal here is magnesium. So it's just very easy. After that, for sulfuric acid, every time it reacts with a magnesium or with a metal, we always get their sulfate. Why sulfate? Because the last here is SO4. Okay, so it's also sulfate. So magnesium plus the SO4 will give you magnesium sulfate. So just add plus hydrogen gas. So notice in example number 1 and 2, what we did with the H here and the H here is we just release them. So the Cl here combines with calcium in number 1, and the SO here combines with magnesium in number 2, which gives us magnesium sulfate. Here, calcium chloride. Okay, let's take a look with example number 3. We use here nitric acid. Okay, so first is we will write calcium, and calcium will react here with, look at nitric acid, it has NO. So it will react NO. We have calcium nitrate. So what will we do with the H here? We will just release H because that's how they do the chemical reaction. So the name of the compound here will be calcium nitrate. Okay, clear? Okay, and question number 4. We have the fourth kind of element here. We have magnesium plus carbonic acid. Okay, so first, what we're going to do, we're going to write the name of the metal, magnesium. Very good. And after that, for carbonic acid, we're going to release the hydrogen. Okay? So what we're going to react here with the magnesium is the CO, okay, which we will attach to the magnesium here. So it will become magnesium carbonate. So we have the CO here, never mind about the number. We don't need it as of the moment. Plus hydrogen gas. Okay, so take a look here. For hydrochloric acid, we take chloride, sulfuric acid, sulfate, nitric acid, nitrate, carbonic acid, carbonate. So we remove all the hydrogen gas because every time it does the reaction, all hydrogen gas is released. Okay?